Uh, Hello. Good evening and welcome to the advisors panel. During the course of this summit, we have been discussing challenges and opportunities in front of mutual funds in reaching to that goal of 20 crore investors. Now, this panel here will discuss whether mutual funds can be successfully distributed into Bharat or hinterlands of the country. So now for long, Indians have been known for their love for physical assets, be it gold, real estate, or chit funds. Even bank deposits have a physicality aspect to it. People still prefer walking down to their local branch, in rural areas especially, to make that deposit. But what kind of inroads mutual funds have made into the hinterlands of this country? I would like to begin with Nilesh. 83% of the mutual funds AUM today comes from top 30 cities, T30 cities. So my question is the mutual fund, this wealth creation tool, limited to few areas? The growth is limited to few areas of this country.
See, mutual funds are open for all the investors who want to invest. We have no restriction. We don't differentiate between HNI and a poor person. We deliver same return, same service, same product. हमारे यहाँ पे complete democratization है. But the problem is that are people interested in investing? So anyway, half the people have left and others are bored. So let me do something differently. So अभी म्यूचुअल फंड में क्या हो रहा है? It is something like this Hindi song. आप में से कितने लोग बाथरूम सिंगर है? आशीष भाई तमें समझी सकसो. एंड कितने को बॉलीवुड अच्छा लगता है? बाकी लोग सो जाओ तो फर्क नहीं पड़ता. My strike rate will be still good. So this is mutual fund today. कोई जब तुम्हारा हृदय तोड़ दे, तड़पता हुआ कोई तुम्हें छोड़ दे, तब तुम मेरे पास आना प्रिय, मेरा दर खुला है, खुला ही रहेगा तुम्हारे लिए. अभिनव भाई 18 करोड़ ऐसे इंडियंस हैं जो क्रिप्टो में जाके लॉस करते हैं. 10 करोड़ इंडियन ऐसे हैं जो गेमिंग में लॉस करते हैं. 2 करोड़ इंडियन ऐसे हैं जो PSL जैसी कंपनी में पॉन्जी स्कीम में लॉस करते हैं. और 7 करोड़ इंडियन ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने FNO में ट्रेडिंग करके लॉस किया है. तो हम लोग उनकी राह देख रहे हैं. सुबह का भूला शाम को तो घर को लौट के आ जाएगा. और एक करूं?
प्लीज गो अहेड सर.
अभी मुझे मेरी नोट्स देखनी पड़ेगी बिकॉज सारे गाने मुझे याद नहीं है. So to sell in Bharat, we need a level playing field. Today, investor disclosure, product communication, commission payout, it's very, very differentiated from one product to another product. वो पोंजी स्कीम वाला 2% रिटर्न दिन का गारंटी कर सकता है. मैं तो ये भी नहीं बोल सकता कि मैं आपका पैसा 10 साल में 10 गुना कर दिया हूं. I have to say I have made your return 12% compounded per annum. किसको समझ में आएगा? So we need a level playing field so that we can sing. आशीष भाई दाद चाहूंगा. आ देखे जरा किसमें कितना है दम, जम के रखना कदम मेरे साथिया. एक बार लेवल प्लेइंग फील्ड दे दो, फिर दिखाते हैं म्यूचुअल फंड क्या कर सकते हैं.
Nilesh bhai had certainly livened up this event. DB sir, coming to you, 17%.
गाना गाना नहीं आता.
Fair enough. So 17% of mutual fund AUM is today coming from B30 cities, beyond top 30 cities. This figure was 14% in 2018, so just 3% rise. Yeah. So where is the hindrance you see in this growth, in mutual funds growth in the hinterlands of this country?
No, actually you have to decode the numbers, right? See, like Mumbai is an aggregator market. whatever business is coming in Mumbai is not of Mumbai's this thing. If all the banks, all the corporates who are having headquarters here, if they are putting money in Mumbai, which is shown in Mumbai number, it doesn't mean that because this is the money, if banks are putting in money, this is the deposit put in by the people all across the country, right? First we have to look at the number. This is not 17% or 14%, this is much more. And even in the banking deposit also, you will see this difference. While so you said just 3%, I say it's 3% is a big number. 3% growth. You said 14 to 17%. So 3% growth is a big number. The journey has started. People have started looking at the business thanks to leaders like Nilesh Bhai and others who have been sitting in MFI, and they came out with the mutual fund sahi hai kind of thing. See, today with the organization like SBI, like our organization through the distribution network, we have reached to 94% pin codes of the country. 94% of the country mutual fund have reached. Only thing is, some of the places is just a tick mark. 5 applications, 4 applications, 3 applications. We have to grow it. The things are there, but as Nilesh Bhai said, we are the most democratized product range because we don't differentiate between anybody. This is just a matter of time. It will grow. It has started growing. Journey has started. Only thing is the economic viability of intermediating. This is a push product. Once that model comes in place, and I'm sure sooner or later that will happen, when the newer investors can be brought in with the right kind of intermediation, with the right kind of remuneration, then it will grow much faster. But we should not be worried about only 3%. 3% is a big number actually, if you ask me.
Right, right. Now I want to discuss about the mutual fund product itself. I want to give data here. Just 2% of ETF AUM comes from B30 areas. And when it comes to gold ETFs, this number, B30 contribution, jumps to 6%. So it seems like in rural areas, people have that favor. They prefer gold. So overall ETF AUM, B30, just 2%. Gold ETFs, B30, 6%. I want to ask this, is mutual fund as a product simple enough for the Bharat, for hinterlands of this country? Manish, I ask you this question because in terms of business, your top 20 centers don't have a metro or a capital or a state capital.
Yes.
So what is your experience like about this mutual fund product?
It's a very interesting question. Mutual funds are the simplest product, and adding to what Nilesh just mentioned, mutual funds are the simplest product, made complex by disclaimers. If you see most of the, and I'm not saying that, we shouldn't have disclaimers. We should have disclaimers. But if you see last few years, regulation has made mutual funds extremely, extremely simple. Today, when you buy a large cap fund, you exactly know what you are getting into, how much is the cost. When you want to take it out, how much will you get? No other product gives you that kind of simplicity. And that has probably helped us grow to a number of 4 crore investors. You spoke about gold. Now, I add a few other products. If you go to rural India, a large part of rural savings is parked in 5 products: real estate, gold, bank deposits, insurance, and chit funds. The commonality between all these products is not simplicity, but physicality of these products. Gold and real estate, where the product is physical, and bank deposits, insurance, or chit funds, where the intermediaries are physical. If we have to go to a number of 20 crore, I think we need many more physical presence intermediaries across the length and breadth of this country, across the bottom 500 districts of this country.
Hemant, do you think investor education in itself is sufficient to take mutual funds to the hinterland? As a distributor, what role do you play in taking this product to the masses?
Well, Abhinav, I would say that investor education is important, obviously, because you're talking about a product which not many people still understand. Even though we have seen investors, investing in great numbers in urban area and semi-urban area, but rural area also, it's not that they are not investing. I think if you see the fresh SIPs that are coming, there is a contribution even from the smaller towns or even from the villages there. Okay, but let's not forget one thing, that when we talk about mutual fund, you're talking about changing the mindset of investor. Trust me, that's the most difficult task. Okay, all this while people have been investing, because whether it's even in semi-urban, urban, or even in villages, in bank deposits, small saving, gold, we talked about that. They're all comfortable with that because everyone in their family has been talking about it for generations. They've been taught that you have to invest in this. When you come into a market-linked product, it's a tough job. It requires changing the mindset. And also, I think the important thing is to manage their expectation, right? So it is, I would say, when you talk to me as a distributor as to what do we do, the most important part is, like I said, changing their mindset. Let them know that this is the investment that you're making. For example, I tell you a very simple thing. Impact of inflation. How many people in our country understand that? For them, that is not a threat. What is the biggest threat for an investor? Saying, I don't want to lose a part of my capital. I can understand that because that's your hard-earned money. You don't want to lose that. How many investors in India, barring those who started investing in mutual funds and understanding what it is, understand the risk of inflation? For them, as long as the money is growing in numbers, they're happy with that. They're not concerned about the real value of money. But why do you think this investment cum insurance products are popular or the traditional insurance plans are popular? It's because either they're getting guaranteed return, even in the banks they're getting guaranteed return, they're more happy with that. So I think our biggest challenge is to change the mindset of people. Second is to ensure that they invest in a very disciplined manner. Okay, which again is a big challenge. I tell you, when we talk about success of SIP, it has not come just like that. There is a lot of hard work that has gone in. I mean, I remember when the SIP started, people would say that I will do it for 1 year. Let me see what happens. Okay, if they were lucky, they made money, they will continue. After 1 year, if they saw 5% down, saying, I told you right in the beginning, this is not good for me. I'm not going to continue that. From there to here, where you have 16,400 SIP book and investors investing for long term and aligning their investment to their goals, I think that's a big shift. And when we talk about rural India, I think the same thing will happen there. It will take time. It has taken us decades to come here. I mean, we talk about participation of even rural investors. I can tell you, I started my career with UTI. I know from what kind of places we were getting money. Every time there was a rally in the market, you would see money coming from every nook and corner of the country. They will come at the peak, lose money, go back. So when we talk about 3% people have invested in mutual fund, to me, I think there are many more people who have invested, but with maybe not so great experience. We need to bring them back, and they will come back. It's going to be a process. Obviously, you need trust. The trust is there. You need distribution channels to be there, and technology, of course, has to play an important role. Today, I mean, if you really see, the rural India is the one that is driving the growth of internet in India. Right? They're more comfortable doing transactions. Industry has done a lot. Today, you can do online onboarding of clients. You can do transactions. You can see your portfolio. I think all the ingredients that are required are there, and it's a matter of time that we will get there. But we all have to have patience. And important thing, like Nilesh Bhai said again, is that investors are very easily convinced with something which is more exotic. Okay, when it comes to something which is going to take time, even equity takes time for you to build wealth for you. They need patience. And I think investors need to have patience. We need to have patience. I'm sure we will see great results going from here.
Right. You mentioned SIP. I mean, we have seen the success of mutual fund Sahi Hai, SIP Sahi Hai over all these years. But is it time to revisit the concept of SIP itself? Is it Nilesh Bhai and DP, is it an urban concept? Because salaried class people will prefer doing SIP, monthly SIP. But this might not be the case in the rural areas where there are small shops. So would you say micro SIP, daily SIPs, that needs to be pushed now?
So there is an American saying, why repair something which ain't broken? SIP अच्छा भला चल रहा है, नजर मत मारो, चलने दो. But again, आशीष भाई, बात चाहूँगा. एक हिंदी गाना है, जोड़ी हमारी जमेगा कैसे जानी, तुम हो अंग्रेजी हम हैं हिंदुस्तानी. सो भारत में हिंदुस्तानी है और हम लोग सब अंग्रेज की औलाद है. Our communication is English. Now, Manish bhai, this is the feedback which I got when I spoke in Hindi. तो one of the rural audience told me, आप तो हिंदी में बात करते, समझदार है क्या? So there is a liability also associated while speaking in Hindi. People think you are not intelligent because intelligent तो अंग्रेजी है.
So but where is the sweet spot then in terms of communication? You said Hindi, there's an issue. English, obviously there is an issue.
No. So there is a mindset change, as Hemant bhai mentioned. We have to keep on experimenting. You never know which one will succeed. But be a Roman in a Rome. So if Hindi works in Northern Heartland, let's do it. If Gujarati works in Gujarat, let's do it. If Bengali works in Bengal, let's do it. If micro SIP works, so be it. If daily SIP works, so be it. With technology, I can reduce cost of transaction. And with technology, I can also communicate the same thing in multiple languages as much as you want, thanks to Google Translation. So, जो लोगों को चाहिए वो हमें करना पड़ेगा because our product is the best.
Right. When we talk about hinterland, the role of urban areas cannot be ignored. I mean, the 5 crore or 4.75 crore mutual fund investors, the much of the growth has come from the urban areas. DP sir, are you happy with the kind of inroads or penetration that mutual fund industry has achieved till now in urban areas?
Not at all, not at all. In fact, I have been talking to the SEBI also on this subject. Okay, why are we, our mindset is on B30 kind of thing. Have we achieved the maximum? Have we optimized in the metros? The answer is no. Even if you talk about Mumbai itself, there will be a very, very big niche, very large niche, जिनको अभी तक म्यूचुअल फंड का एम भी मालूम नहीं है. उनको कुछ मालूम ही नहीं है, उन्होंने अभी जर्नी स्टार्ट भी नहीं की है. उनकी इनकम जो है एक रूरल एरिया में जो बंदा रहता है उससे 10 गुना ज़्यादा है. परंतु और आज की डेट में जब हमारी इकोनॉमी भी पूरा अकाउंटिंग की तरफ जा रही है, अगर हम एक अच्छी तरह से, तो द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम इज फॉर ए स्मॉलर, द एक्वायरिंग ए स्मॉलर इन्वेस्टर involves a cost, and your remuneration model is not good enough to take care of that cost. That is the biggest problem. In fact, we have been talking to regulator also, to small investor, at least somebody coming for the first time up to 5 lakh or 10 lakh rupees of investment. See, mutual funds are ready to pay upfront commission. Why are you not letting us pay? Today, if you allow up to 5 lakh rupees, up to 10 lakh rupees upfront 1% commission, you see how much growth will happen in the metros itself. So we are talking to them. I think we are at a stage where we can talk more closely, and very soon we'll get some result out of it, and then the growth will multiply. Because smaller investors are not coming into this.
Sir, SEBI has suspended B30 incentive. So in the absence of that, how difficult is it for you as a mutual fund industry to target that a person in the hinterlands or in Bharat?
Honestly speaking, we have not seen much of difference. And moreover, they have suspended for the time being. They will come out with a new formula. They are also, whatever I talked earlier, they are also weighing that what should be the model and who should be given this distribution. Because there are some abuses, and the people who have built in their corpuses, it doesn't make much difference. Honestly speaking, this is the number of distributors which are not there. That is a major problem, rather than B30 or T30. And B30, or either it is B30 or it's T30, the number of people who are bringing in the small ticket businesses are not there. Today what we are saying is, either money is coming through SIP mode or money is coming through big ticket. This 50,000, 1 lakh rupees, the big pyramid which is there, nobody is ready to service them because it's not an economically viable model. So that's something which we have to work on. The things will happen very soon.
Now, I want to address the investor profile. Manish, you don't target T30, you target B30. And Hemant also, I would like to ask this to you. Is it right to pitch equity funds to investors in hinterlands of the country? Because their risk profile would be tilted towards debt funds because they're coming from that bank deposits side. So, do you think it is the right strategy to pitch them equity funds? Question to both. You can start, yes.
Well, I don't see anything wrong in that, honestly. I mean, like we talked about earlier, investors everywhere, forget only the rural India, even in the semi-urban and urban areas, have been investing all their life in bank deposit, gold, everywhere else, right? So if there is any investor to whom you're talking to and is willing to make a commitment for a longer term, investing through SIP, there is nothing wrong in equity. We talked about the fact that Indian investors do not understand the impact inflation can have on you. So there is the only way you can tackle inflation is by investing in equity. Best thing is, because most investors are now coming through SIP, and that is what needs to be propagated, is that what is the risk in equity? I mean, show me one investor who has invested for 10 years and has not made money in equity. The risk is of volatility. That is what scares people, right? So if you can minimize the impact of that volatility through a disciplined investment, there is nothing wrong in it. I strongly feel that investors in the rural India would generally be looking at hybrid funds and equity funds. Because honestly, I'm not saying that debt fund, I'm not undermining the importance of debt funds, or I'm not saying that there is no utility of that. But the fact is that their majority of the money is already there in the bank deposit. So they're already debt heavy, right? So what is that they're looking at? If they want to create wealth, the wealth can only be created through either hybrid fund or equity fund. So like I said, as long as you manage their expectation, and while changing your mindset, you tell them this is a long-term commitment and you need to continue investing for a certain number of years, I don't see any problem at all.
Your view?
So two things here. One, we have discussed during the earlier sessions, as long as we are selling with right disclosures, I don't see any problem. Absolutely no problem. Second, my view is the question is not equity or debt. The question is the product simple enough to be understood by the customer? And there we have done a lot of work. We have come a long way. A large cap fund today has large cap only. A mid cap fund today has mid cap only. I don't see any understanding gap. We can create exotic products, which is a mix of debt, equity, all of those things. My experience in selling mutual funds digitally, easier products are easier to sell. Simpler products are easier to sell.
Right. Unfortunately, we are running out of time. Yes, sir, please.
So, in the past, Lanka was made of gold. Why? Because Lankan investors were equity investors and कुंभकर्ण की तरह पैसा डाल के 14 साल के बाद देखते थे. So equity investment was the reason why Lanka was made of gold. Now आपने एक और हिंदी गाना सुना होगा, आशीष भाई, जहां डाल डाल पे सोने की चिड़िया करती है बसेरा, वो भारत देश है मेरा. तो भारत देश सोने का तब बनेगा जब हम रूरल इंडिया में इक्विटी बेचेंगे.
Right. Unfortunately, guys, we have run out of time. Thank you, Nilesh bhai.
मेरे 4 गाने और बाकी है, but next time के लिए.
Right. Thank you for that.
So much. Thank you, gentlemen. May I please request the team to share the tokens of